Hello, Alberto. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Hi, Ruckus. Thank you for having me. My name is Alberto Rosas. I am from Mexico, 36 years old, and I'm a software engineer.
Okay. So, as a software engineer, what inclined you to look into Hustlers University?
Well, I mean, it was definitely in regards to making more money. I'm currently doing well, but I'm always looking to make more money. In particular, or specifically, I was looking to form alliances and just trying to meet like-minded people. So that's one of the reasons.
And do you feel like you accomplished that? Did you meet like-minded people?
It's in process. I mean, I've obviously encountered a lot of people that are dedicating themselves to building themselves and making more money, and that's obviously great. I'm trying to do a little bit more in regards to the situation in Latin America and people here. So making more money is it's a bonus, but yeah,
Let's get onto the money aspect then. So, software
sure.
engineer, are you comfortable saying how much you were making before you joined? What were you doing?
Right. Well, I still have a full-time job,
Hmm.
and so I'm making around maybe 6,000 monthly
Hmm.
US dollars.
Hmm. So, fairly solid. And after you joined Hustlers University, what campus did you decide to get into? And then how did that benefit you?
Well, I started looking into business mastery, content creation, even the crypto space, and I pretty much went all around trying to see what skills could I acquire that will blend well with my already skill as a software engineer. So content creation was a big one. I wasn't doing anything in regards to social media. Business mastery obviously helped me as well to give me a little bit more of confidence in regards to how I conduct myself and calls and just public speaking in general.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's
So
all encompasses, if you can say
uh,
that.
what did you end up using then to what did you land another client for software engineering? Did you build out the business? What did you do?
I landed a client for an application, a software application, and that was through content creation by diving into LinkedIn and posting things on LinkedIn and trying to present myself in a more professional way and just building my reputation up. So I landed that client. We I managed to acquire it by using also skills from the business mastery from Professor Arnold, and yeah, that's how
I'd
I did
like
it.
a bit more detail for that. So how did you acquire that client? What did you tell him you can offer him? How did you actually find him? What did he find you? Did you get on a sales call with him? What did you pitch him?
Right. So I started posting content in regards to artificial intelligence and how software engineering was about to evolve into AI engineering. So so that's basically a software engineer and integrating LLMs and artificial intelligence models to a regular application in order to the application to be dynamic and responsive using AI. So starting posting content in LinkedIn and a company approached me and we started discussing what they want. Started to build a list of requirements for them, and yeah, that's how I managed to back and forth with the details of their MVP that they were looking to build. And yeah, I don't know if that's
Yeah, yeah. And then what price point did you ask for the work you were doing?
well. At first, it was around 20,000 for the MVP. then they started to ask for more features for that same MVP, and some of them were AI related, custom LLMs and integration with the application. So I already had the software engineering experience, but I was a bit new into LLMs and artificial intelligence in general. So I started to, you know, invest all my time and understanding about it, and then, until the point that I could deliver what they asked for. So
Hmm.
I built the MVP pretty fairly quickly, and yeah, still things are escalating from there. There are still more features to be added, and so I'm looking around. Earned, I've received around 35 to $43,000, but the project is going, still going.
Still ongoing. Yep. So for the AI aspect of it, what experience did you have prior to joining Hustlers University? How much AI related things did you actually learn from HU?
So what I actually learned was things that made me put myself out there. So it was more of sharing my experience. How would I share it? How to conduct myself with other companies and try to reflect a bit more confidence in myself while I'm speaking with CTOs and CEOs of companies. So
Okay. So
yeah,
you're saying for AI, you already had all the knowledge prior. Did I understand correctly?
no, for the content creation, I didn't have any knowledge.
For AI.
The AI in particular,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was more in regards to machine learning
Hmm.
itself. So it was more on the software engineering side of AI, not
Okay.
content creation.
Okay. Understood. And I've done some. This is more personal to me now. I've done
Sure.
a AI project maybe 6 years ago when I was finishing off. I guess it would be considered college, and it was a unsupervised. I used unsupervised learning for it. So you said LLM. Is that language? Wait, what was it? Is it language
Large
related? What you do? Language
large
learning.
language models. Yeah.
I guess that's different from the what I did with unsupervised learning. Probably it's all supervised, right? The
Yeah,
models.
it's all supervised.
Yeah.
At least for now, the field that I'm currently learning and diving myself into.
Cool. I'm really out of date now with all the new technology because this was, as I said, about 6 years ago. I was doing it. Um,
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy now.
personally interested. What kind of advances have there been in the past, let's say, year or 2 years for what you've been learning?
Well, currently there is a huge company, or is getting huge, which is Langchain, which is a way to train and integrate custom LLMs into regular software applications, web applications, or whatever. And that's kind of the way for people outside of big companies to use LLMs, open source LLMs, and that's one of the main ones that I can think of. But currently, there's a lot of advancements in regards to agents and taking actions as an LLM, and yeah, I mean, it's getting it's moving fast. But yeah.
Very solid. Cool. So let's move on to, has your average day changed at all since joining Hustle University, or does it look basically the same as before?
Well, I almost the same. I've always been every day I wake up early, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., um, and starting working at my day job, but also doing some other things, learning stuff, and just trying to see what else can I do to not only improve myself financially, but to do something for the community and Latin Americans and Mexico in particular. So after joining Hustlers University, I started to take in more responsibility in terms of what do I put out there in terms of how can I help people, just more conscious in regards to helping people. Andrew talks about karma and stuff like that. So I'm always trying to take a step forward to improving that side. Hustlers University has helped me to make it that kind of take accountability for each action in my day. So it's more of meeting people with the same mindset that I already had, but now taking it a step further in regards to doing. There's always more that you can do. So that's the main thing that I'm taking
Mhm.
from the university.
And you've mentioned a few times now wanting to build up Latin America or the community around you, if I understood correctly. So, what are your plans for that?
Well, I'm currently trying to dive into social media. I have a social media page for Mexico in particular, but it's open to Latin America in general, which is kind of a way to present my thoughts in regards to building myself up. So people in Latin America can really focus on improving if they're focusing on you know basically making a living first. So that's a necessity that has to be fulfilled before talking about improving the country or society in general. So I'm trying to help people adopt a mental framework that will help them to keep looking for things, stop wasting time, um, and just do things the way that us and Hustler University do it, but presented in a more soft way for women and men to feel identified with that or inspired by what I said. Most of the things that I try to do is I try to present other international influencers' points to Spanish speaking countries, um, because people like Andrew Tate or I don't know, Luke Belmar or whatever, they're not really. Um, I'm not saying not at all, but they're not very prominent in Latin America.
Mhm.
So I believe that kind of mental framework will help people here to to just start pushing further and working
Mhm.
towards their goals.
All right, completely understandable, and a very cool thing to be doing.
Thank you.
What I do wonder, do you just plan on continuing to post there and just increase it that way, just over time? Or do you have other ways to promote it and grow it? Like, do you have any plans there for how to actually have a widespread reach through what you're doing?
Well, I'm currently working on preparing myself to do some sort of podcast here in Mexico and trying to first interview people with audience and trying to enter that space. But I'm more active in international communities than I am in Latin America in general. So because of my the fortune that I have of knowing English from a young age, I'm able to speak with people around the world, and that has helped me, build some or fortify some the mental framework that I always had, and I want to present that to this community here.
Mhm.
In terms of plans, I'm doing this social media thing. I'm also trying to find people in HU Um, I'm pretty much shooting, not everywhere, of course, but or without direction. But I'm trying to build something. So yeah.
Okay. Will be interesting to see how that develops for you because again, it's a very cool thing to be doing. So
Thank you.
if we do a follow up at some point in the future, we'll be happy to hear the progress on what you're building. Okay.
Awesome.
And do you have any other plans for new clients with the to continue? I guess you'd consider your freelancing, right? With your LinkedIn.
Well, I have a day job
Mhm.
as well, and
Right, right. But
I'm
on the side, since you've landed the company who approached you, are you planning on scaling further and getting new clients in while working your day job as well?
yes, I'm planning on once I finish this project or while during the process to acquire more clients and probably outsource that to other people around. If there are people in Latin America that can help me with it, I will be glad to integrate it with my sort of formalize the actual business of software engineering.
Mhm.
But yeah, scaling is something that I'm very much looking into. So yeah, there are plans there.
That was what I wanted to follow up with. So, which parts would you say would be the most important to outsource first?
Which parts?
Which parts of what you're doing would you be able to outsource first? Do you think would be the most important to free up your time?
Right. So I'm thinking about outsourcing the engineering side, the software engineering side, regular web development, application development first, and since it's the most common area or knowledge around, and then slowly build up my a list of people that can help me with training custom LLMs and doing some more AI um, related uh, work.
Hmm. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And where do you see everything going for you then in the short term, medium term, long term? Overall, what plans do you have? So financially, physically, I don't know, mentally, just do everything.
So on the short term, I'm looking into in regards to health. I'm looking to improve my overall, um, you know, going to the gym, adopting that habit again. In terms of financially, I'm looking to obviously expanding, scaling this AI engineering business, but for the medium long term, I'm trying to dive myself into social media and try to make more, try to adopt more responsibility in terms of how helping the community in Mexico and Latin America in general. So that's my main goal. I mentioned that I'm doing well financially. You can always do better, of course, and that's something that keeps me going. But at the same time, I need people on the same level or higher than I am. So that's something a bit difficult to find in Mexico in particular. Um, and so I'm opening myself to international communities and just trying to, you know, form relations,
Mhm.
friends all around.
Cool. And that is a problem, isn't it? Actually finding like-minded people, like finding manpower with people who think along the same lines as you and have the same work ethic. I've I have noticed that pattern that if people have those traits, they're actually a lot rarer than they might think. So
Yeah.
for the listener, it really doesn't require much to be a valuable person in this day and age. Just again, if you're dedicated and work hard and have a good mindset, those are probably the most important qualities for most roles. Would you agree, or would you have anything to add there?
I completely agree. And The mindset is one of the most important things, but also taking action. So people here, for example, are tend to find motivation and I don't know, motivational quotes or stuff like that, but that from it's a long way from actually taking action and doing something to improve their lives. So yeah, finding people that are willing to do more, or even if they're on a good financial level, they're really not thinking about going all the way. And my mental framework has, I mean, I just can't help thinking about reaching some really high levels in terms of not only financially, but in terms of some sort of influence in this area of the world and for the betterment of the people. So I just can't shake the thought of trying to do that. And if I quit trying to do that, I will just feel terrible. I need to do something in regards to that.
Mhm.
So so yeah, that's certainly a problem.
That's the mindset I'd say every man should have. So yeah, very
Yeah.
solid. And now
Thank you.
to end off, for people who are unsure about joining Hustlers University because they're thinking they might get scammed for $50, with the experience you've had within it, what advice would you have to them?
Right. So there's a some a sentence or a paragraph that I heard from Andrew, which resonated with me because I fell into one of those three categories. So he mentioned that there are three reasons why you might be poor or broke, right? And is that is you're either stupid enough that you can make money, or you're lazy, which I didn't find myself in that category all the time. Obviously, we all sin here and there, but the main reason was you're arrogant enough to listen to people. I always consider myself to be open minded and try to absorb the things that will help me, improve my life, regardless of political views or whatever. But I was falling to the arrogance of identifying with the software engineer persona. I was always looking for positions in that regard, in that industry, and without taking a second look at what else should I be doing. So, so people should, think about which category they're falling into and decide if they want to do something else with that. But obviously, entering the HU is the first step, but there's hard work that you need to put in and actually be willing to you know do it and go beyond. So yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
And that's well said. So now,
Thank
for
you.
people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
So I'm mostly on LinkedIn as Alberto Rosas, and yeah, I mean, you can check out my profile in software engineering, and if you ever need something in regards to that, I'm happy to help you out.
Cool. We'll add your LinkedIn to the description of video, so anyone who's interested can check that. And yeah, Alberto, hope I didn't pronounce that too badly. It was
No, it's fine.
great speaking to you. Thank you for sharing your story.
You too.
Thank you for explaining what you're doing. As you said, for Mexico, what you're building up. That's very cool to hear. And I wish you all the best with your endeavor. Hope you land some more clients, continue scaling, and then I'm sure you'll put that money to good use because you have good goals from the sound of it.
Thank you very much, Ruckus, for having me.
All the best.